When I was washing my wife's underwear that evening, I suddenly noticed a small hole on her underwear, clearly a cigarette burn. Seeing that hole, I pondered for a long time, because neither I nor my wife smoked, so there was only one possibility for that cigarette burn hole: my wife was seeing someone else. Seeing that hole, I really wanted to confront Jessica, and ask her what was going on, but then I thought, without solid proof, I would only tip them off, so my first reaction was to pretend I had received an urgent call from the office for an overseas assignment, and that I had to leave immediately. The moment Jessica heard I was going on a business trip, she immediately got up from the couch, and started packing my clothes and toiletries. As she packed, Jessica reminded me, "Honey, no matter how busy you are with work, remember to eat on time. You don't have to worry about things at home." Hearing's words, I was actually a little touched. I even felt I shouldn't doubt my wife. After all, she was truly thinking of me. I had originally planned to confess to my wife that I was lying, and that there was no business trip, but then I saw that in just a few minutes, my wife had already packed my luggage. She even included my razor and toothbrush. Seeing how quickly she did it, my heart sank. It was clear she wanted me to leave quickly. Once I figured that out, I didn't waste any more words. I grabbed my suitcase, picked up my cell phone, and walked out the door. Before I left, my wife was still waving goodbye to me, telling me to take care of myself. But the moment I stepped out, I immediately hid in the fire escape, and used my phone surveillance app to see what my wife was doing inside the house. As soon as I opened the surveillance app, I saw my wife holding her cell phone, and on a video call with a man. I heard it clearly. My wife said in the video call, "My worthless husband is on another business trip, he'll come see you tomorrow." But the man on the other end said, "Don't wait until tomorrow, come tonight, I miss you, hurry." Hearing that disgusting conversation, I immediately wanted to push the door open and beat Jessica up. Damn it, Jessica and I had been married for 3 or 4 years, and I worked myself to death every day. Who would have thought Jessica actually had another man on the side? But in the end, I held back. I decided it wouldn't be cheap for that cheating couple. I was determined to make that cheating couple pay. After seeing Jessica change clothes and leave the house through the surveillance app, I immediately hid. Once I saw her get into a car and drive away, I immediately got into my own car and followed. I initially thought Jessica would go somewhere far away, but to my surprise, she got out of the car after only 5 minutes. When I saw Jessica standing in front of a bakery, many things suddenly came to mind. I remembered how there was always cake at home these past few months, and Jessica had claimed it was because the cake was delicious, so she bought it every day. Now I understood. It turned out that from the first time she bought cake home, she had already hooked up with this person. After went inside, I sat alone in my car, and looked up information about the bakery, but to my surprise, the owner of this bakery was a woman. Seeing the description on my cell phone, I was a little confused. Had I been wrong? Was this wild man not from the bakery? Just as I was sitting in the car, racking my brain, the bakery door suddenly opened. I witnessed my wife being embraced by a man, both of them laughing and chatting as they walked out. They didn't go far, but walked directly to a small hotel next door, checked in, and went upstairs. Seeing this, I immediately wanted to get out of the car and block the door, but before I could get out, a man suddenly rushed out of the hotel entrance. I took a closer look and realized it was the same toy boy who had been embracing Jessica just moments ago. He seemed very anxious, walking and talking on the phone at the same time. A few more minutes passed, and I saw my wife also emerge from the hotel. This time, she didn't linger at all, but directly took a taxi home. Just as I was still trying to figure out what was going on, I suddenly saw a white BMW pull up in front of my car. Soon, the toy boy who had rushed back to open the bakery door came trotting over to greet it. When I saw a young woman in her early 20s step out of the BMW, I finally understood what was happening. This young woman was the bakery owner I had just looked up online. Judging by the toy boy's relationship with this young woman, they must be boyfriend and girlfriend. He has a rich girlfriend, and he's still going around hooking up with my wife. Thinking of this, I felt as disgusted as if I had swallowed a fly. Just then, my cell phone text message came in. I looked down, and saw it was from my wife. In her message, she told me to get more rest, and not to overwork myself. Seeing that message, I really wanted to laugh. She had just been with another man in a hotel, and now she was pretending to be loving with me. If this were before, I would have believed her, but now, I just found it ironic. As I was wondering how to reply to that message, my wife sent another message right after, saying, "Can you make it home the day after tomorrow? It's my mom's 60th birthday, and as her son-in-law, you should show your appreciation." Of course, I knew what Jessica meant by show your appreciation. A month ago, Jessica had been nagging me daily, saying her mom's milestone birthday was coming up. She had fallen in love with a gold bracelet worth over $30,000, and she wanted me, as her son-in-law, to get it for her. If this were before, for my mother-in-law's milestone birthday, a $30,000 plus bracelet, I would have definitely bought it, but now, forget it. You just had me cheated on, and now you're asking me to buy your mom a bracelet. You really think I am a fool? But to keep Jessica calm, I replied with a text message, "I'll definitely make it back. Don't worry." After sending the message, I sat in my car, lost in thought for a very long time. I didn't even notice when the white BMW drove away. It wasn't until I snapped out of it that I realized it was completely dark. I glanced at the home security camera. My wife had already gone to bed. I didn't know where to go, so I just found a hotel to check into and sleep. That night, I thoroughly searched all of my wife's social media accounts online, trying to find some information about that man, and indeed, I found out that the man had liked my wife's social media feed about 6 months ago. They had even interacted on social media. Following that like, I found my way to the Toy Boy's social media feed. The content was indeed rich. There were photos of hiking, diving, gym photos, and even pictures of him with a dog. Honestly, after looking at that Toy Boy's social media feed, I even found him quite attractive. After getting the Toy Boy's photos, I quickly sent them to Ryan, my childhood friend. Ryan was a tech whiz, although he wasn't a hacker. Finding someone's information was a matter of minutes for him. Soon, Ryan sent me the Toy Boy's information on WhatsApp. Ryan told me, "This Toy Boy isn't simple, he's a player. Your wife didn't get hooked by him too, did she?" I didn't want to air our dirty laundry, so I directly denied it, but sent back 2 characters, lol. I knew he understood everything. Opening the text message Ryan sent, I finally understood why Ryan had said lol. I hadn't expected Ryan to be so resourceful. He had actually accessed that guy's private cloud storage, and in the cloud storage, there were large numbers of photos of this Toy Boy with different girls. Among them were highly explicit photos of Jessica and this Toy Boy, and what made me even angrier was that I saw Jessica, and that Toy Boy had taken the photos under our wedding photos in our own room. Damn it. I am going to kill that cheating couple. Furious, I was about to go home and confront Jessica. But just then, my phone rang. I saw it was Ryan calling, and I thought he was calling to mock me, but the next second, I heard Ryan's voice from outside my room. Confused, I went to open the door. The moment I opened the door, Ryan, grinning, held up a 6-pack of beer and said to me, "Buddy, I knew you'd blow up, but it's not worth it for one woman. Come on, buddy, let's have a drink and cool down." Hearing's words, I knew he meant well, and at that moment, I really did need to calm down, so I quickly took the beer and started drinking with Ryan. After and I each drank 3 beers, Ryan finally brought up the real topic. He said, "Buddy, this is a society of law now. If you go back and beat that cheating couple, you'll also get arrested. So my suggestion is to think of another way. You have a way." As soon as I heard Ryan, I knew he must have thought of something before coming to find me. And seeing me ask, Ryan grinned and replied, "Since you asked so sincerely, I'll mercifully tell you, I have a plan that will not only let you vent your anger, but also make you money. Do you want to hear it? Both vent my anger and make money." "What kind of plan is that? Tell me quickly." Seeing how excited I was, Ryan chugged the rest of his beer, and then said to me, "Here's the thing, I've been making a show for an international online platform these past few years. My idea is, we record your revenge on that cheating couple for the show, make a show." Hearing's words, I shook my head. It wasn't that I was afraid of being on camera. The most important thing was that I was afraid this matter would become public knowledge. and everyone would know I was cuckolded. How would I ever get by after that? But one sentence from Ryan convinced me. He said, "Well done. This series of videos could earn you more money than you could make in a lifetime. You might even become famous with money. Are you still afraid of being embarrassed?" Hearing's words, I was indeed tempted. After a slight hesitation, I accepted Ryan's collaboration invitation, and what surprised me was that Ryan was truly professional. He even brought a contract. After I signed it on the spot, he immediately transferred a $50,000 deposit to me. "Agreed, from now on, all your actions will be filmed, no backing out." Looking at the $50,000 that appeared in my account balance, what else could I say? Of course, I nodded in agreement. That night, Ryan filmed the first part in the hotel room, an interview about how I discovered my wife had cheated. Ryan said that for now, they were just recording footage. He would slowly edit and upload it to the international online platform. Once I had completed the entire plan, I am confident this video can make big money. Ryan smiled at me. I looked at Ryan's smile, feeling a little helpless. I kept feeling like I had been conned. If the video was released, I really wouldn't be able to get by here in the States. But since I already had the money, I couldn't think of anything else. That night, Ryan and I finished the rest of the beer and went to sleep at the hotel. The next day, Ryan picked up his cell phone and continued to film me. His first question was, "Have you figured out how to get revenge on that cheating couple?" Facing the camera, I honestly spoke my thoughts. Here's the plan. Yesterday, my wife and that toy boy didn't manage to get a hotel room, right? Today, I want to set a trap and get them to check into a hotel again. How do you plan to set the trap? Ryan asked me. I didn't say anything. Instead, I directly opened a hotel booking app and spent $800 to book a room at the best hotel in the city. Then, I turned to the camera and said, "Here's what I'll do. I'll send my wife a text message later, telling her I have a hotel coupon that's about to expire and asking her to find someone to use it. Will your wife fall for it if you do that?" Ryan seemed unconvinced, but when I picked up my cell phone and forwarded the room number to my wife, also specifically noting that the room came with dinner at the rooftop revolving restaurant, my wife immediately reacted. I turned on the home security camera and heard my wife on a video call with that toy boy saying, "Honey, my worthless husband somehow got a 5-star hotel coupon, and it even includes dinner. How about we try it out tonight?" "Great. I am free today. Send me the address. I'll be right over. Oh, and bring that pair of stockings you wore last time." Hearing the conversation through the camera, I was livid. Ryan, however, was filled with excitement, urging me to keep talking to the camera. After a moment, I continued to the camera. "Now that cheating couple is heading to the hotel, and I know the room number, so let's head to the hotel too." I told Ryan to turn off the camera and get in the car, but Ryan refused to turn it off. He said he wanted to maintain authenticity and film the entire process, every single detail. There was nothing I could do. I just let Ryan keep filming. 15 minutes later, I arrived at the hotel entrance. To my surprise, the toy boy was already standing there waiting. A few more minutes passed, and I saw a taxi pull up to the hotel entrance. It was indeed my wife, Jessica, who got out, and when Jessica saw the toy boy, she actually leaned in and kissed him in broad daylight. Seeing this, I clenched my jaw so hard I thought my teeth would break. Ryan then asked me, "How are you feeling right now?" I ignored Ryan. After seeing my wife get the key card at the front desk and go up the elevator with that toy boy, I immediately took Ryan's spare cell phone and used it to send a mass text message to all the toy boy's named girlfriends from the information Ryan had given me. The mass text message was simple: Langton, room 1208, along with a photo I had just secretly taken of Jessica and the toy boy kissing. After sending the message, I told Ryan to stop filming for a bit and join me outside for a cigarette. Ryan knew I was having a tough time, but he still didn't want to turn off the camera. He kept one hand filming and offered me a cigarette with the other. After chain smoking 3 cigarettes, I saw another car pull up to the hotel entrance. Looking closely, it was the white BMW I had seen yesterday. The next second, I saw an enraged young woman step out of the car. Seeing this, I immediately told Ryan to hold up his cell phone and quickly follow her to the 12th floor to watch the drama unfold. Sure enough, when Ryan and I rushed to the 12th floor, A crowd of onlookers had already gathered. I didn't want to show my face, so I just let Ryan block me, and slowly moved forward. Through camera, I saw that young woman driving the BMW was really something. She dragged the toy boy out of the room and started slapping him, one slap after another. As she slapped him, the young woman kept saying, "Chad, you ungrateful wretch. I've been good enough to you, haven't I? You living off me, using my money, and you still dare to go out and find other women behind my back." Chad was truly meek, facing the young woman's slaps. He just kept his head down and didn't dare to fight back. But to my surprise, Chad didn't fight back, but my wife Jessica came out and retaliated. She was only wearing underwear, with a bedsheet wrapped around her upper body. Seeing being hit, Jessica rushed out, stood in front of him, and said to the young woman, "Who are you? How dare you hit people? If you don't stop, I am calling the police." It would have been better if Jessica hadn't spoken. The moment she did, the young woman completely lost it. She rushed forward, pulled off Jessica's bedsheet, and said, "Who am I? I am Chad's girlfriend, you shameless mistress. I am going to beat you to death." I genuinely hadn't expected this young woman, despite her young age, to be so fierce. The hotel security guard saw trouble brewing, and rushed over from the elevator. I was decisive. I pulled $400 from my pocket, and handed it to the two security guards, telling them to wait. This was the exciting part. By the time Jessica was sitting on the young woman's back, her face was badly bruised and swollen. Ryan also felt he had enough footage, and was about to leave when suddenly, the voices of several other girls came from outside. Ryan and I recognized those girls. They were all the toy boy's girlfriends. These young women were also decisive. They started by slapping Chad, then collectively swarmed around and slapped Jessica. The two security guards, who had taken my money, were originally going to continue watching the show, but when they saw Jessica spitting blood from the beating, they feared things would get out of hand. They returned my money and quickly pushed through the crowd, rushing over. Seeing the security guards intervene, Ryan felt he had enough footage. He quickly patted my shoulder and told me to leave. Once in the car, Ryan and I burst out laughing. Of course, Ryan laughed the loudest. He gave me a thumbs up and said, "Buddy, you're really something." I believe this video will definitely explode globally when it's released on the international online platform. But seriously, do you have any other moves planned for that cheating couple? This isn't the end, is it? Hearing's words, a sly smile appeared on my face. Don't worry, this is just the beginning. On the third day, it was Mother's 60th milestone birthday. Early in the morning, I called my wife, intending to tell her, I am home. But to my surprise, my wife answered and said she was busy today, and that I should go to Mother's for dinner alone. Hearing that, I was baffled. I deliberately said into the phone, "What's wrong? It's your own mother's birthday. Is there anything more important than your own mother?" My wife stammered on the phone for a while before replying, "Well, the office had some urgent work. I can't get out, so you can go on my behalf." "What? Your office has work? How about I call cousin and ask him to give you the day off?" Jessica's job was arranged by my cousin, and he was Jessica's direct supervisor. For all these years, cousin knew best whether Jessica was actually working. As for why she wasn't coming to her own mother's birthday dinner today, there was only one truth. She had been beaten black and blue and was too embarrassed to see me. But when I mentioned calling cousin on the phone, Jessica finally gave in. She said, Okay, you go to my mom's place first tonight. I'll come after work." "All right, I'll wait for you then." After hanging up, Ryan held up his cell phone and asked me, "You still haven't said how we're going to get revenge next. Come on, tell me, I am so curious." Seeing's eager expression, I held out a hand to him, and said, "Another 30,000. What? Didn't I already transfer 50,000 to you? Why do you need more money?" Ryan was reluctant, but when I asked if he wanted to know my plan, Ryan had no choice but to transfer another 30,000 to me. Once I had the money, I took Ryan to a discount electronics store. After looking around for a while, I found a gold-plated bracelet that originally cost $120. After negotiating it down to $60, I asked the owner for a particularly beautiful gift box, and had him wrap it. Only then did I say to Ryan, this time, I am going big. I am not just going to get revenge on Jessica, I am going to get revenge on their whole family. You just wait, and enjoy the show. After saying that, I laughed loudly at the camera. Before 5 p.m. that evening, I drove to Mother's place. My father-in-law passed away early, and Mother raised her son and daughter alone, which was quite difficult. If this were before, I wouldn't have minded spending some money on her birthday, but now, this entire family was on my blacklist. They wouldn't get a single penny from me. When I arrived, Mother saw someone behind me and curiously asked what was going on. I simply said he was a colleague, and we had to go on a business trip together after dinner. Hearing my words, Mother replied, it's good that you, as brother-in-law, are busy with work. Save more money. Your brother-in-law Kevin is getting married soon, and you, as his brother-in-law, should help out more. Hearing Martha's words, I said nothing. Instead, I kept changing the subject, asking why Jessica hadn't arrived yet. 15 minutes later, Jessica finally arrived. However, she was wearing a mask today, and a hat too. Seeing her like that, my heart was blooming with joy. I deliberately walked over to Jessica and said, what are you doing? Home? Why are you wearing a mask and a hat? Hurry and take them off, aren't you hot? I deliberately went to take off her hat and mask, but Jessica suddenly cried out, don't come closer. I have a skin rash, and it looks really swollen right now. I'll just keep my mask and hat on. What? You have a skin rash? You don't usually get skin rashes. I pretended to be anxious, and deliberately rushed over, pulling off Jessica's mask. The moment the mask came off, not only did I gasp, but Mother and my brother-in-law, who had just entered, also gasped. What's going on? This isn't a skin rash, is it? It looks like someone hit you. Mother immediately saw the problem, but quickly snatched the mask back, put it on, and then explained to us, it's just a skin rash, don't worry about it. No, honey, you're definitely hiding something from me. Has someone bullied you? Tell your husband, and he'll stand up for you. I pretended to be indignant, with my sleeves rolled up. Mother and my brother-in-law also said in unison, yes, tell us what happened, you can't let anyone bully you. But still repeated, don't worry, it's just a skin rash, it'll go down in a few days. Oh, and Mom, I ordered a cake. It should be delivered soon. Jessica tried to change the subject, not wanting to talk about it anymore, although her mom still wanted to ask. I saw Jessica desperately wink at her mom. In the end, Mother didn't ask any more questions. Soon, the food and drinks were on the table. At the dinner table, Mother began to speak. Tearfully, she said, your father passed away early. I worked tirelessly to raise you two, a brother and sister. I had no other wish than for you to marry early. Now, Jessica's life is good, and her husband works very hard. I am relieved. It's just Kevin. He's 28 now, and every girlfriend he dates ends up breaking up with him. I know it's because they despise Kevin for being poor and not having a house. As a mother, this is all I can do, so Kevin's house buying matter will have to rely on his sister and brother-in-law. After Martha finished speaking, all three of them, including Kevin and Jessica, stared at me, waiting for my reply. Seeing this, I finally understood that today wasn't just a 60th milestone birthday, it was a trap set by this family for me. But I wasn't afraid of this trap, because on the way here today, I had already decided to go big. Since they were setting a trap for me, I'd dismantle it. So, after Mother finished speaking, I first took out a shiny gold bracelet from the gift box I carried with me, and handed it to Mother. Then I said to Mother, my brother-in-law, and the others, I am an only child, and my parents passed away early. Now I don't have many close relatives. Kevin is like my own brother. I'll definitely pay for Kevin's house, but I need a figure so I can prepare in advance. Seeing how generous I was today, not only giving a bracelet but also agreeing to buy a house. Mother's face almost split into a smile. She quickly took the gold bracelet into her hand, and smiled at me, saying, Kevin and I went to look at houses. 2 million can buy a house, and the 30% down payment only requires 600,000. He'll put in 100,000, so you, as his brother-in-law, just need to contribute 500,000. What? 500,000? Hearing Martha's words, my heart skipped a beat, because this 500,000 was exactly all of our family's savings. I now believed even more that today's trap was a setup orchestrated by Jessica, mother, and my brother-in-law. If I hadn't discovered Jessica's infidelity, I definitely wouldn't have escaped this trap, but now that I knew everything, this trap wasn't meant to ensnare me. It was meant to ensnare this family. I continued, 500,000 is fine, not too much, I can afford it, however. You have to give me some time, because most of my savings are in investment funds, so I'll need to wait a bit. Okay, we can wait, we'll give you a month. I heard that housing development is going to increase in price next month. No problem, in a month, I'll definitely be able to withdraw the money from the investment fund. After my assurance, mother, Jessica, and even my brother-in-law, who usually looked down on me, started pouring me drinks with extra enthusiasm. Originally, I wanted to use the excuse of a business trip to avoid drinking. But, standing nearby, started egging me on, saying it was fine if I drank too much, I just wouldn't go on the business trip, let anyone else go if they want. With saying that, what else could I say? I just kept drinking glass after glass. That night, I got drunk, and I slept at mother's house. As for Ryan, he found an excuse and left earlier, when only I, an outsider, was left in the house. My brother-in-law, thinking I was asleep, took the gold bracelet I had given mother, and said, "Sister, my brother-in-law must have struck it rich recently. This gold bracelet looks quite heavy, it must be worth at least 30 or 40,000. Hearing this, Jessica first glanced at me, when she was sure I was indeed asleep. She said, "It's probably last year's dividend. Mom, hold on to this gold bracelet, consider it my way of showing my appreciation to you." But before Jessica could finish speaking, my brother-in-law said, "No, Mom, you're already so old, what are you going to do with such a big gold bracelet? Give it to me, my girlfriend will definitely love it. Next time, I'll buy you a smaller one." Okay, you can take it for now. But remember, you're only allowed to give it to your girlfriend, not gamble it away. I know. Hearing their conversation, my heart bloomed with joy. Whether my brother-in-law gave it to his girlfriend or gambled it away, I was sure he would have a hard time in the future. After all, my gold bracelet only cost $60 in total. Ha ha ha. Just as I was overjoyed, I suddenly heard Mother whisper, "Jessica, who did this to your face? Why is it so badly bruised?" Hearing this, Jessica suddenly started crying, leaning on her mother's shoulder. Jessica quietly said to her mother, "It was indeed someone who hit me. Yesterday, Chad and I went to a hotel to check in, and Chad's girlfriend blocked the door." "What? How could you be so careless? Oh my goodness. Let Mama see, are you disfigured?" Hearing that Mother didn't find this surprising at all, I finally understood that Mother might have known about Jessica's infidelity all along. And then my brother-in-law also said, "Sister, I am not criticizing you, but my brother-in-law is pretty good. He works hard, and his parents have passed away. What more could you want? Don't go out for dates all the time. Just honestly return to the family and encourage my brother-in-law to work and make money." The first half of my brother-in-law's words sounded reasonable, but when I heard the second half, I realized that he wasn't speaking up for me at all. It turned out he wanted me to be a money tree, to parasitize me for the rest of his life. After pretending to be asleep, and seeing this family's ugly true colors, I finally made up my mind to bring about their ruin. Another day passed, and Jessica left for work early. My brother-in-law had no job and was still having breakfast with me. Seeing my brother-in-law's attentive demeanor, a thought struck me, and I immediately had an idea. I asked my brother-in-law to come out with me after breakfast. Before leaving, I specifically asked my brother-in-law if he had any cash on him. My brother-in-law said no, but he had $2,000 in his account balance. Hearing this, I smiled without saying anything, and took him out. After getting in the car, my brother-in-law kept asking me where I was taking him. I just mysteriously told him, "Nowhere special, you'll know when we get there. By the way, You can't tell your sister about today's events. Hearing my tone, my brother-in-law's face lit up with joy. Originally, I was going to take my brother-in-law directly to that place, but halfway there, Ryan called me, insisting I pick him up. There was nothing for it, so I had to make a detour to pick up Ryan first. When I got out of the car to pick up Ryan, he insisted I face the camera first, and explain what today's plan was. Facing the camera, I explained my plan in detail. I said, later, I plan to take my brother-in-law to a high-end club. There are many ladies there. After hearing my introduction, Ryan, on behalf of the audience, asked a question. What kind of revenge plan is this? Just as I was about to answer, Ryan suddenly told me that my brother-in-law had opened the window. I could only tell Ryan to get in the car first and just observe, and see how things unfold. 15 minutes later, I arrived at the high-end club with my brother-in-law and Ryan. I had actually been to this place a few times, but each time was for a company business dinner, so I knew the prices here. The cheapest options were $5,000 or $6,000, and the expensive ones cost over $10,000. Walking to the entrance of the high-end club, seeing the ladies with their hot figures, my brother-in-law was practically drooling. But since it was his first time here, he kept walking behind me, quietly asking, "Brother-in-law, what did you bring me here for?" Seeing my brother-in-law practically drooling, I smiled at him and said, "What else could it be for? You're getting married soon, and then it'll be hard times. As your brother-in-law, I brought you here to have a good time. Don't be shy, go ahead and have fun. Your brother-in-law is paying today." "Thanks, brother-in-law." My brother-in-law didn't even listen to the rest of what I said. He already had a lady on each arm and went into a room. After seeing my brother-in-law go in, I looked at Ryan. "Do you want to go in and have some fun too?" Ryan grinned and replied, "If he really treating, I'd be willing to go in and have some fun." Hearing's words, I smiled without saying anything, turned around, and left the place. After driving quite a distance, I sent my brother-in-law a voice message. "Your sister suddenly needs me for something, so I won't be joining you. You pay this time, and your brother-in-law will treat you next time." After sending the voice message, I directly turned off my cell phone. Seeing my slick move, Ryan couldn't help but give me a thumbs up, and said, "You're really something. I know this high-end club. If you don't have money, you can't even leave." Hearing's words, I also laughed heartily, because that's exactly the effect I wanted. After dealing with my brother-in-law's problem, my final step was to deal with my wife, Jessica. I thought long and hard and finally decided to start with the house purchase. I drove directly to Mother's house. In front of Ryan, I told Mother this: "All my $500,000 in cash has been invested in funds, and market conditions have been good recently. The fund manager advised me not to withdraw it." Mother's expression immediately changed when she heard me. Frowning, she asked, "What do you mean by that? Yesterday, you said you'd help your brother get that $500,000. Seeing Martha's face change, I immediately explained, "It's like this. I am not saying I won't give it. I am saying wait a bit. 1 month might not be enough. It could take 2 months. Because the investment fund market conditions have been really good lately, I am even thinking of putting more money in. 500,000 can earn 10,000 in a single day." "What? What did you say?" 500,000 can earn 10,000 in a day. You're not conning me, are you?" Mother's face was full of disbelief. When she heard my words, I discreetly kicked Ryan next to me, signaling him to chime in. Ryan was truly a smooth talker. The moment he got my signal, he immediately started to con Mother under the influence of his silver tongue. Mother immediately believed what I said. She even blurted out, "This money really can't be taken out yet, and my good son-in-law, could you open an account for me too? I want to invest and make money." "What? Mom, this is no joke. The market conditions are good now. You can make money, but what if we lose money tomorrow? Jessica will blame me." But at that moment, no matter what I said, Mother just insisted, "My good son-in-law, as long as you help me invest, I won't blame you, no matter how much we lose. I don't have any other intentions. I just want to earn more money for Kevin's wedding." "Mom, no, I can't. If finds out about this, shall blame me. But Martha declared, I swear, this will be our secret. I won't tell anyone. And if he worried, I can write a statement and sign an agreement. With those words out, what more could I say? Of course, I agreed. However, I didn't make Mother sign an agreement. Instead, I had her record a video on her cell phone, promising that all the money was given to me to invest in funds, and I wouldn't be responsible for any gains or losses. However, Mother's account balance next utterly shocked me. Yesterday, Shed said she could only give $100,000 for Kevin's house, but when I opened her account balance, it totaled $680,000. Seeing that number, I was too astonished to speak for a long time. Mother, however, beamed at me and said, "This is all my life savings. Not much, not much." After getting Mother's money, Ryan thought I was going to run off with the money. After all, Jessica had been beaten up, my brother-in-law was trapped at the high-end club, and now, if I conned Mother out of her money, the whole thing would be over. Ryan was quite satisfied with this outcome. He even said that once this video series was broadcast, it would definitely cause a sensation. But I told Ryan this. I don't want to break the law. I am really going to buy investment funds with this money, but I won't buy profitable investment funds for Mother. Instead, I'll buy those junk funds that never go up in value. Hehe, I want to make sure this whole family stares at these numbers forever without being able to get a single penny. When heard me say that, he almost knelt down. He was truly impressed by me. After buying the investment funds, I called Cousin and demanded that he fire his wife, Jessica. Cousin initially thought we had had a fight, and tried to talk me out of it, but after I sent him the video I took that day at the hotel, Cousin just said one thing, "I'll make her get out right now." Less than 2 minutes later, Jessica's phone call came through to me, but no matter how many times she called, I didn't answer. Then a text message came from Jessica. She asked, "What's going on? Your Robert just suddenly lost it and fired me. Quickly ask your cousin what's wrong with me." Immediately after, a message from my brother-in-law popped up on my cell phone. I listened to my brother-in-law's voice message. From the other end, he cried out in a desperate voice, "Brother-in-law, hurry and save me. I don't have enough money, they are going to lock me up and beat me." Seeing these messages, I didn't reply to a single one. Instead, I had Ryan find a local video blogger and upload the video of Jessica being beaten at the hotel that day onto the internet. The video itself went viral, and I intentionally spent money to promote it. This video instantly became public knowledge in the city. At this point, Jessica sent me another text message. She said, "I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. You can beat me or scold me, just don't ignore me." Then, my brother-in-law's text message also came through. He was still pleading, "Help me, brother-in-law. Don't you know people here? Come save me." Finally, Mother called me on video call. I answered that call. During the call, Mother asked me worriedly where I was. I didn't say anything. Then Martha asked again, "Did you see the online video?" Jessica told me it's all fake. Someone framed her. You have to believe my daughter. But no matter what Mother said, I didn't answer. Finally, I don't know if something snapped in me, but I actually cried in front of Mother. Seeing me cry, Mother also panicked. She yelled from the other end of the phone, "My dear son-in-law, my good son-in-law, don't be upset. Tell me where you are, I'll come find you." But at that moment, I hung up the phone. Hehe. As if I didn't know what Mother was thinking. She wasn't worried about me at all. She was only worried about the $680,000 I had taken. But I wanted her to not find me. I wanted to make her anxious. For the next week, I hid out at Ryan's place. Ryan stayed up late editing videos at his home, while I just ate and slept and ate there every day, and mostly spent my time browsing local videos. That week, a lot happened. After the hotel video hit trending topics, many men in the city discovered that their wives and girlfriends were actually involved with Chad. Every few days, someone would live stream beating up Chad online. Eventually, it wasn't even just the victims' families doing the beating, it was groups of elderly men and women who persistently blocked, beat, and scolded Chad every day, claiming he was morally offensive. Finally, Chad had no choice. One dark and windy night, he secretly left the city. As for my wife, Jessica, she also took quite a beating, but it wasn't strangers who beat her, it was her own mother and own brother. After my brother-in-law was rescued from the high-end club by mother, he learned that I had disappeared because of the hotel video. He instantly flew into a rage and beat up Jessica in broad daylight. As he beat her, he also cursed Jessica, saying she was a piece of trash, daring to treat her brother-in-law like that. As for Jessica's own mother, she initially tried to stop him, but then she remembered that 680,000 was in my hands, and I was now gone missing. She couldn't hold back either, and started beating Jessica 3 times a day. Of course, besides beating Jessica every day, mother and my brother-in-law persistently sent me messages, urging me to come home. My brother-in-law even live streamed videos every day of his mother making Jessica kneel and apologize, all to appease me. Seeing these videos, I burst out laughing, but no matter how many messages they sent or how many calls they made, I remained silent. After all, they were begging me.